What is going on, people? It is the Opinionated Gooner, aka DOG. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Happy Friday. We're finally into the weekend now. Well, hopefully for most of us. So it's time for relaxation, relax for these couple of days. We go again come Monday, man. But yeah, let's just get straight into it, man. Player and manager ratings. It was Arsenal versus Olympiacos. Lost 1-0. 1-3-2 on aggregate. Just a disgusting performance. What more can I say? It was just a disgusting performance. But let's just get straight into it, man. We'll start off with Leno. Thought Leno was decent, man. Made himself big for El Arabi chance in the first half. Keeper hoofed it to El Arabi. El Arabi was one-on-one, made himself big. El Arabi did score in the second half, but that was not Leno's fault. There was nothing Leno could do. It was a deflection off of Gabriel. But, had Leno not made that big save in the first half, it might have been a different story throughout the game. We saw yesterday, Tottenham went out. They lost by 3 goals to nothing. So, in football, anything can happen, man. And those are the kind of decisive moments where that usually dictates how the game is going to go. So credit to Leno. So I'll give him a 6. Thought he was decent, man. Bellerin, I'm not gonna get much into it, but essentially Bellerin was disgusting, just poor. No synergy with him and Pepe. Bellerin, throughout the whole game, he dribbled past 3 players, and that was in the first half, early in the first half. Did nothing else, didn't attack, didn't defend. So Bellerin gets a 2. That's just the end of story with him. David Luiz, I think David Luiz gets a 5. I don't think he was particularly bad. I do think though, for the first instance when in the first half when the keeper hoofed it to El Arabi, I think he should have anticipated sooner, what was going to happen there. And even for the goal that El Arabi scored, before he scored that, David Luiz was backing away, essentially allowing pressure to come onto him until El Arabi got himself into the box. And that's that kind of defending. It makes me sick, to be honest. It makes me sick if I'm being really, really honest, because that defending reminds me of Holding. And many of you know how I feel about Holding, so yeah. But there were some decent moments that he had, despite that. Olympiacos were still fairly toothless, to be honest. So for that, I'd give him a 5. He wasn't particularly great, but he wasn't particularly poor too. Gabriel, pretty much the same. Should have anticipated either him or David Luiz, if not both, for when El Arabi had that first chance in the first half. Ultimately, it was a deflection off of Gabriel, hence why they scored. I also think that he was okay though. I don't think they were particularly bad, both of them. So I too would also give Gabriel a 5. Tierney just does Tierney things, man. Still performs even when the team is poor. Never shies away from the ball. Provides chances as much as he can. Provided a chance for Pepe. Pepe should have scored, but it hit Emil Smith-Rowe. Providing chances for Aubameyang, essentially for anyone that's in the box, You know, we should all know now how Tierney crosses, low cross. He fizzes it in as he usually does, but, you know, no one's there to finish their dinner. So essentially it is what it is. But Tierney, if I'm not mistaken as well, he was winning all of his aerial duels as well. Tierney was really good for me. So for me, I would give him a 7. Solid performance from him. El Neni, what did he do in the game? What did El Neni do? What the hell did El Neni do, really? Essentially, El Neni was just a passenger for me. I wrote down in my notes, El Neni made forward passes, which is positive. I wrote that down when it was like 1-2 minutes into the game. I didn't have anything else for El Neni. And if Arteta had to sub him off early, it was clear that he wasn't really doing his job properly. That was for everyone to see. And because he was a passenger in the game, he didn't do anything defending-wise. He didn't do anything going forward. El Neni gets a 3. El Neni was poor. Sorry. Xhaka, there were times I thought he was okay. But again, it just seemed like he was just lethargic, man. Just very slow to recover. Didn't really provide anything either, really. Nothing going forward. Nothing in terms of defending wise either. Yeah. He didn't, I don't remember Xhaka doing anything. So for that reason as well, he gets a 3. I thought he was poor as well. You know, no intensity from Xhaka. Yeah, poor. Pepe, I thought, considering, you know, the chances that he missed, you know, there was a big chance in particular where he went around the keeper. Should have done better to try and bury that in for me, or just look up and see Aubameyang in space, passed it to him, and obviously, hopefully Aubameyang would have finished it. And he, obviously I spoke about the chance where it hit Emil Smith Rowe, where it was destined to go in essentially. Considering that though, I still felt like he was doing his part. You know, I felt like he was still positive, still trying to make things happen. I thought Pepe was very, very positive, in my opinion. So I'd give Pepe a 6. I thought he was decent, man. Ceballos, it was very interesting for him because he played as a number 10, which was very, very interesting. I thought he had a really, really solid 30 to 40 minutes in the first half, providing killer passes to Pepe, providing a killer pass to Aubameyang. They both obviously didn't finish their dinner. But essentially, it is what it is, man. He lost the ball in the midfield in the second half, which ultimately led to Olympiacos' goal. And when that happened, you know, most of our players were going forward with him. So there was so little we could do in terms of recovery. And also just considering the fact that he's made mistakes against, I think, Olympiacos in the first leg, Benfica, I think in the second leg too, and against Burnley. You know, he's had a good few games, Ceballos. And, you know, just dwelling on the ball when you didn't need to. I said in my match review as well, this reminded me of Wilshere. Ramsey was the same as well. Just release the ball when you have to release it. Don't be adding seconds on, because one, you've destroyed the attack, and two, there's a chance that Olympiacos would have recovered that ball, whatever you were going to do. And that's exactly what happened. They took the ball from Ceballos, drove forward, and they ultimately scored. So for those main reasons, you know, it's clear that Ceballos at the moment is error prone. So for those reasons, Ceballos gets a 2. I'm sorry. He's been stinking now. He's been stinking. So that was not good enough for me. I'm sorry. Emil Smith-Rowe, I thought he was okay. Thought he did drive forward pretty well sometimes. Got back as well. You know, when we needed to defend, he'd also be the one to come back as well. He had one shot which was fairly tame though. Yeah, he was okay. He was okay. I'd give him a 5. There's nothing more to really add with Emil Smith-Rowe. It's decent, isn't it? Now on to Aubameyang. Man, where do I start with Aubameyang, man? Like, it really has been, this season, it really has been Obama who. Who is this guy? I don't know who this one is. You know, last season, he would have been burying the chances that he had against Olympiacos yesterday. The Emery Aubameyang would have 1,000,000% buried those chances. You know, Ceballos essentially gave it to him on a plate. He's trying to do a difficult shot for no reason. You know, just strike a low shot. At the very least, give the keeper some questions. He didn't do that. He gets slotted in by Odegaard. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He tries to chip in with his left foot. What was that? And not only that, it went wide. Like, I mean, it was wide. It was just poor. And you could see with Aubameyang as well, he was really just frustrated in the game. What annoyed me as well is that he was constantly staying out on the left. We've already got Smith-Rowe and Tierney doing that job, my friend. We don't need an extra one on the left and then little bodies in the box. You're playing as a centre forward. Learn how to be a proper centre forward. You know, add more to your game. It seems like Aubameyang is not trying to add anything more to his game. He didn't defend in the game, really. He didn't do any high pressing for me. Aubameyang, where even though he did get himself into those good positions and stuff like that for the Ceballos chance and the Odegaard chance, it simply just wasn't good enough considering that he had got dropped from the starting 11 against Tottenham. You would have thought he would have been really revved up for this game. You know, and, you know, he pretty much let everyone down, really. He let everyone down. So, you know, in that next match that we have, Arteta's going to have to make a decision. You know, he's made it difficult for Arteta to even give him a reason to start on the weekend. But yeah, Aubameyang was poor. Aubameyang was stinking, smelling. So, for that reason, Aubameyang gets a 2. You know, you're our striker. You should be doing better. You are the captain. You should have also helped rev up the team. Because I know, obviously, you were annoyed of not playing. That should have transferred to the team. And it didn't happen. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to go on to the subs now. Partey, I thought, was rubbish. I just thought Partey was rubbish. Every time I saw him, he was doing something wrong for me. Silly fouls, running into danger, you know, dwelling on the ball. He didn't do anything positive for me, Partey. I don't remember him doing anything positive for me. So, for that reason, he gets a 3. He was poor. Um, Odegaard, I thought Odegaard was really, really positive coming on. You know, gave that glorious chance to Aubameyang. Aubameyang used his pace for nothing because what was the point if you were going to try and finish it off with your left foot when you're right-footed? You know, you had a lot of time, just rubbish. But Odegaard, I thought, was really sharp. He had a chance of his own. I think he should have still done better in that sense, but he was really getting himself into good positions, passing it when needed, releasing the ball, you know, did everything that he could for the cameo that he had. So I thought Odegaard was really, really good. It seems like he's slotting into Arsenal well, and the most important thing is that he didn't allow him being on the bench to kind of drop his confidence. He probably would have felt hard done by not starting. But yeah, he came on, tried to make an impact. Yeah, it's just that people just couldn't finish their dinner. That's all it was. So for that, I'd give Odegaard a 6. Can't really complain with his performance. Who else came on? It was Chambers. Chambers came on. He didn't do anything. He came on for Bellerin, didn't do anything. So he didn't have time to do anything. So for that, I give him an NA. There's nothing more I can say about that. And for the man in question, which was Martinelli, I thought Martinelli was really, really good for the time that he had. You know, I think he came on in like 80-something minutes, made an impact immediately, went past Bar, their defender. Bar puts his hand out essentially to Martinelli's face. Once Martinelli was going to send him to the shops, got a yellow card for that. Out of frustration, he hits the ball away, gets a second yellow card, gets sent off. Martinelli essentially caused that, you know. Big impact coming off the bench, and that's what I was really, really pleased about. You know, Arteta now will look at that and be like, maybe I should have brought him on a bit earlier. Maybe we would have been a bit more potent going up front or going forward. So for that reason alone, Martinelli gets a 6, man. I was just happy to see him. Came on, did his business. You know, essentially he kind of ended any hope of Olympiacos doing anything anyway because they were down to 10 men. So credit to him. Gets a 6. Now, for Arteta, the manager, what do I give Arteta? Considering that he is the manager and he couldn't even motivate the team enough to understand that even though we're winning by 3 away goals, we still need to keep up the tempo. He couldn't rev them up for that. And for me, I'm worried about that because if it had to take a derby to do that and then the next game you go and do this, it is really disappointing, you know, and also considering the fact that Martinelli made an impact in such a short space of time, it's clear that you should have brought him on a lot earlier. Also as well, maybe Odegaard should have started. You know, he probably would have been on the front foot from the jump had he played. Bellerin, you know, his best buddy was absolutely diabolical. He was just poor, you know, and he also couldn't motivate Aubameyang enough so that Aubameyang can motivate the team. And that's worrying for me. So just considering all of that and how poor the team was as a whole, Arteta gets a 3. That it was poor. It was poor for Arteta. Should have started Odegaard, should have started Martinelli. It was just poor. You couldn't motivate this team. You know, it was only because it was a derby that they felt something. Apart from that, they had nothing. So I'm really, I'm not even yeah, I'm really worried against West Ham on Sunday. I'm worried. But you know, maybe essentially because it's still another London derby, you know, maybe the players will be on something. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I'm gonna end the video there. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notifications and all that other good stuff. I will be back tomorrow as well, doing a preview of the West Ham versus Arsenal game. So make sure you guys look out for that. Have a great Friday and have a great weekend nonetheless, man. Make sure you guys take care. Peace.